everyone, Stephanie Denman here from the Denman Homestead, and I want to show you how I'm going to save some seeds from some of my flowers around here. First, I'm going to put eggs inside and then I'll show you. Alright, so let's take a little journey to the side garden. We haven't been over here in a little bit. The AC unit's a little bit loud, so hopefully you can hear me. But over here is where I want to show you how I'm going to save the seeds from one of my sunflowers. But first, let's check out the grape dome. Oh, hi, Costa. Hi, baby. And the lima beans. So this year I grew lima beans, and they are doing really well. I'm waiting, I haven't harvested them yet. I'm waiting for them to get a little bit plumper, but I'm excited to see how many lima beans we get this year. I enjoy lima beans. Lima beans aren't for everyone, but I like them. My sunflowers are just going crazy. This one's probably almost, I don't know, 7 or 8 feet tall. I planted a variety of sunflowers this year. Well, I normally do. And then I've got some of my melons down here. But got some of the shorter varieties on the outskirts and the taller varieties on the inside. That one's really pretty over there. Got these sunflowers over here. Now this is my asparagus bed and it's looking crazy. They're all ferned out. I've got some new asparagus popping up that I could probably harvest. So that's kind of cool. And my friend sent me some got me a wildflower packet from a Texas. It's called Wild Seed Farms. She picked me up some wildflowers. They're Texas friendly wildflowers and they're so pretty, but they're starting to die back. And so I have been saving these buds, saving the spent blooms, and I will take some of these and show you how I'm going to seed save so that I have this exact display that I can plant next year or even this year if I have a patch. I don't know that I have a patch I can put them in, but I will show you what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to cut them just here, or you could probably pop them off just like that. So you don't want to damage the plant, but if you know that the flower has basically gone to seed or its life cycle is out, just take this and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. With these. But let's also get a spent sunflower head so I can show you how I'm going to save my sunflower heads as well. Right over here is a sunflower that has bloomed and now has died back. So I'm going to take my shears and I'm going to snip it right below the base of the head here. And because I only have one hand, it's going to fall, but it's okay. Boop. What was that, Costa? All right, let's go inside and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Quick Costa update. Wanted to show you kind of how we've adapted. So here's Costa. She's definitely gained weight from whatever illness she's had. And might be a little loud because we've got the lawnmower going. But to make sure that she's getting enough water, I add a good amount of water, probably at least a half a cup of water, in with her wet food. And she has to drink the water first before she can get to her wet food at the bottom. And that ensures that she is actually hydrated and getting fluids, because I can't count on the fact that she can actually find water easily when she needs it. So that's kind of how we've adapted with the water situation. I know it kind of looks soupy and weird, but she will drink that water down and then get to her food below. So We make sure she stays hydrated that way. She, I believe, has peripheral vision, but not straight on vision. So when I call her, she still looks around for me, doesn't know exactly where I am, but she's eating and drinking and gaining weight. I just think that she's going to be probably permanently injured with her eyesight. I don't know. We never figured out what happened exactly. Still suspected that she got into some sort of poison. So that is a little bit of a Costa update. She's just adapting. Some of the issues we're running into is that she gets lost, but she doesn't go far. So we're just having to keep a close eye on her. And if she's outside, she will stay right by us, like under our feet. And to the point where we kind of sometimes step on her because she gets tripped up underneath us. But she can hear us really well and she stays close by. So she's doing okay. We're all adapting. I have these little, I don't even know what I would even call them, treat bags or something that I ordered a long time ago, and they're perfect for saving seeds. They're clear on one side and kind of, I don't know, they almost look like a mailing envelope with a little zipper that you can seal if you would like to. But I use these for saving seeds, that way I can easily write on them what they are. I've already saved a bunch of wildflower seeds from that little patch I just showed you. But I'm gonna show you how I did it from this. So, this is a weird angle. But you basically take off all the bloom that was on it, all this little stuff, take that off. And the seeds, they're gonna dry out inside this pod. So I just kind of gently give it a squeeze and a twist to kind of loosen the seeds off, like seeds that are in there up, loosen them up. And then they will start to fall out. It's best to do this when your dog's not drinking water. No, I'm just kidding. It's best to do this when the bloom has pretty much completely dried out, because you can kind of tell if the seeds are still have moisture in them. You don't want to pack them if the seeds are still wet, because then you will end up with mold issues. But let me show you what this is. So I just squeezed out some seeds, and those are the little white, almost sesame seed looking things with the little fringes on the end. Those are the seeds. So it's really easy to save your favorite flower seed if you know what you're looking for. They're not the petals, they're not the dried petals, those are not the seeds, but this is what we're working with. And if you're nervous if they're too wet or not dried out completely, just put them on a paper towel for a couple days until they do completely dry out. And then you can pack them and store them and then use them for your next springtime planting. Now let's move on to the sunflower. Okay, so this spent sunflower, same thing. You want to make sure that it's pretty dried out. And because this head still has some green to it, I know for sure that these seeds are not going to be completely dry. When they're, oh, that little guy got out of here. So when this is completely brown, crispy, and dry, you know that the seeds themselves are dried out. However, you run the risk of other birds and, oh, look at this. We've got a ton of little critters coming out. You run the risk of birds eating and pecking along the seeds and stealing your seeds. So you can just let this dry out inside. You can cut the heads off and just let them dry like this. Or you can go ahead and harvest the seeds here and let them dry out on a paper towel. So I'll show you what to do if you want to harvest the seeds now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, we've got this area right here that's kind of fuzzy, and then over here you can kind of see the tips of the seeds. But you're gonna have to basically rub this part off. And as it dries out, this comes off a lot easier. This is where a lot of the pollen is, and they are basically the tips of the sunflower seeds themselves. So I just kind of just gently take my finger and I just rub back and forth while all of this will just kind of fall off. And then what you're left with, if you can tell, underneath all the fuzzy is sunflower seeds. So you can basically break this apart. Sometimes it's best to do this outside because I'm making a mess. And in here are the seeds. Now, different variety of sunflowers will give you different variety of sunflower seeds. So you just basically peel this back and save all of the, not everything in the inside is gonna look like seeds or have seeds. So some of this in the middle is not gonna give you a good quality seed, but towards the edges of this, you have your classic sunflower seed. And I'm just going to basically take this and peel this away and get as many sunflower seeds as I can out of here. And then I'm gonna let these dry out for a little bit because this sunflower is still kind of green as it was dying off. I don't want to package it while it still has any sort of moisture. So I'll let them dry on a paper towel. But this is a really good bird food, or if you, like I said, if you want to grow them for your chickens or grow them just for bird seed. I know whenever my sunflowers, a bunch of them start to go to seed and dry out, I will have a ton of birds clinging to the sunflower itself and just pecking them. And I love seeing that the wild birds, like the cardinals and the blue jays, they'll come and get some free bird seed off of the sunflowers, and then they'll also disperse them while they're trying to peck the seeds out. They will drop a bunch of sunflower seeds that will reseed themselves for the fall, which is really nice. So yeah, that's how you save seeds for sunflowers. There are the sunflower varieties that you can bake. You can harvest them and bake them and soak them in like a salty brine and then put them in the oven and make your own sunflower seeds to eat. This variety is not that kind, but I am going to save these seeds for next year's planting because guess what? Just what I have harvested from this little segment alone is probably more than what I would buy in a seed packet at the store. You know, so all of the sunflower seeds that you can plant in like a little 15 to 20 seed packet, you get that if you just save your own seeds with one head of that, one head of one flower that you grew. I truly love saving seeds because it just saves so much money, and also because my birds like it too.
We got any black blueberries last year.
Okay, blueberries have arrived. What is today? May 18th? And we have blueberries. It is.
It's weird because they just like
at least
like
two.
Popcorn.
Yeah, they just popped up out of nowhere. That one right there is gonna be ready pretty soon.
This little cluster looks like it's getting ready to.
We got two for sure. Here, let's try them.
Try them? Cheers.
Cheers. Wow, that was a lot of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of flavor.
Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Hopefully
First blueberries.
Hopefully the birds don't get the rest.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, it's crazy how big of an issue the birds were last year compared to this year.
It might have something to do with the fact that I've been feeding the birds.
That's true. Give them food somewhere else. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. I need to stay on top of my trellising, but this bush right here, I've got one right here. But these over here, we still get plenty. I already had like 4 of these this morning when I was feeding the chickens.
Cow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at this one.
Wow.
How big that is.
It's kind of like a heart too.
Oh yeah.
You got a heartberry.
Sure do.
We need to get Allura in. Actually, let's save these so Allura and Camry can.
Okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to share those little tips with you if you want to save seeds with your flowers. Not every flower is designed like that. Some of them have pods. For instance, like lupines or bluebonnets, they have these little pods. They almost look like little green beans or sugar snap peas, but they dry out in pods. And those pods are what you need to let dry out, and then they fall in the ground and then they reseed themselves. So they don't actually, the seeds themselves are not in the bloom. So every, flower is different on how you save seeds. Marigolds are really cool. I did do a video last year on seed saving from marigolds because marigolds actually, like for example, if this was a marigold head, when you pluck these out, the little spent, the ends of them are actually the seeds. They're part of the bloom, this part. They're not deep down in the pod here. So experiment with your wildflowers. If you find a wildflower that you really like, let it dry out and then gently pull it apart and see if you can't find where the seed is for that flower. But yeah, I enjoy saving them. Why not, But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm gonna finish this up and clean up my mess, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
On the Denman homestead, where the sun sets golden in the west, we live in harmony with nature, doing what we love best. From the garden to the kitchen, and the bees inside their hive. On the Denman homestead, come along and plant, nourish, thrive.